Should I have an emergency fund? Yes, unless you're lounging mortgage-free on a private island. Isn't an emergency fund like the saver's savings? Yes and no. Your emergency fund is a specific type of savings. It's when you have unexpected expenses, like your car failing its MOT, or you've lost your job for a few months. Your other savings are for things that you want, like your holiday or a house deposit or a new car. So what does an emergency fund look like? An emergency fund doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's just a savings account that you can easily access to get the money in an emergency. How do I even work out how much I need in an emergency fund? It's best to have 3 to 6 months of expenses. So when I say expenses, I don't mean like everything you'd spend in a month. I mean like stuff like food, bills, rent. It's must-haves, not everything. Also, don't be put off. It doesn't have to be huge. Starting off with a few £100 puts you in the habit, starts to build it. Money in savings account is always a good thing. Does buying a new phone count as an emergency? No. Well, it can do if your phone's broken or lost and you absolutely need a new phone. But if you just want the new handset, no. So what does count as an emergency then? Things like covering your living costs for a few months if you lose your job, or if your car fails its MOT, or if your cat needs an amputation and your pet insurance doesn't quite cover it. True story, that happened last summer. Where do I keep my emergency fund? You need to be able to access your money quickly if an emergency does come up, so an instant access or an easy access account is the way to go. Try to get the best rate possible, but this is all about safety, not growth. So investments or fixed rate bonds just aren't really the type of thing for this. Will my emergency fund be too big? Yes! As I just said, an emergency fund is about safety, not growth. So if you've got enough in your emergency fund to cover those things that we talked about, really you need to make your money work for you for everything else. So that's where you take it into putting it into investments or into fixed rate bonds so you can start growing that interest. Do I need permission to spend my emergency fund? No, I'm not your mum. You're a full adult and you should be able to make decisions for yourself. Okay. Final question. Can I use my emergency fund for drinks with the girls or a little weekend breakaway or the sale at Zara? And then I'll just top it up again. No! Right, let's take this from the top.